I don't know how many times I have to say, please, we got to stop closing this door. It is so hot in here.
There's actual people in here.
It doesn't matter. If you hear some chatter in the background.
You're complaining about a YouTube link?
I'm complaining.
But the product.
I'm complaining about everything. That's Ryan Greene. This is Ryan and Ryan in the afternoon. New show.
Little R&R.
Little R&R. Everyone needs a little R&R in their life.
My guy.
How you doing today?
I am burnt to a crisp. I am fully cooked.
Yeah.
Today was
So
hot.
today was definitely a post-practice Slurpee day.
Oh, I'm so mad. I'm about to go over to 7-Eleven.
And I didn't do it because I'm like, I've been drinking too many Slurpees. Like this is definitely bad for you. But we were talking on the way up to the parking lot, like training camp is so unhealthy for your body. And I'm like, I can feel and see that happening to me. So I'm like, I'm skipping the Slurpee. But like my core temperature is definitely at like 104 right now. And it's not good.
Bro, I had to run to Jimmy John's and have like 3 bites of sandwich or I was going to get violent. I was hungry.
I kind of wish we could have seen that.
Just all UFC bets.
Damn, he looks more tan than me.
Oh, sorry, man.
Only person in the company. Not even Allie is more tan than me right now.
Hey.
I mean, not even Yaya.
Closer to melanoma than anyone.
Yeah, I think Yaya has me.
I got 10 in Cancun by accident.
Yeah, so they call it Cancun.
I like that.
All right, let's jump into some not bets first. What's annoying you today other than the heat?
Oh, gosh, that I have to wait like 3 more days before I can care about football again.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, football fever is running rampant right now.
It's more, for me, it's just like, all right, I'm done with training camp. I'm done with practices. Like the joint practice would be great, but I need Saturday to come here.
Yeah, Zach Stevens has been lying to me a lot lately, and one of the things that he said 2 weeks ago was, "Oh yeah, camp's only 2 weeks," but it is very clearly 3 weeks.
Camp is a total of 14 days, correct? Is that where he was going?
That maybe
could not be.
It could have been. That's probably how he got. That's probably how he got confused. But like, it's very clearly a 3-week venture.
Yeah.
So my mind was prepared for 2 weeks. Now I'm in the stray zone. Like I'm just floating around in space, trying to grab onto anything I can. Just no gravity.
Nothing. Again, like I said, I've kind of lost track of the actual days, and just like I know day 12 was today. You
said it well in your vlog yesterday, where you were like, "We're in like the dead zone."
Training camp limbo, baby.
Yeah, that's what he called it. It's like the Cowboys thing. It feels like it's taking 100 years to get here. Like on Sunday, I was like, "Oh, Cowboys week! Like this is the week with the joint practices." Now I'm like, "That was 2 days ago." It feels like a week ago,
dude. I'm right there with you. So, and even like thinking about like last week's practices, I'm like, wow.
Because we have NFL Fever.
First day of pads was 7 days ago.
Yes,
that's wild.
I just said NFL Fever. Remember that video game?
Yes. Was that
Peyton
Xbox
on the cover? Yeah. The original Xbox. Like
I remember, I think I had just watched like a recent video of those, and the graphics hold up on that game.
Oh yeah,
it looks like new Madden, to be honest.
At the time, it was so like futuristic looking.
That was one of the games where I was like, wow, maybe I do need an Xbox.
Yeah, it was a good one. Okay, so we are going to talk about NFL stuff in the second segment because we can't stop thinking about it. But old friend or old enemy, Nolan Arenado coming to town. Or I guess old friend or current enemy.
Column A and column B right there.
Oh, a little
old
bit of both.
And enemy.
Hey.
What would Nolan call the Rockies?
A friend diagram? Would Nolan?
Yeah.
I think Nolan would call them old, like a place I used to live.
Place I used to live.
He'd be like, "Oh, I used to live in Denver."
Yeah,
he's like, "Oh, I used to play for the Rockies."
Doesn't even say the team he played for. I just lived in Denver.
Yeah,
that's smart.
I spent some years in Denver. Yep. So it was okay.
That's all right.
Nolan Arenado.
Nolan.
You just
does he know? Do you think he knows?
Oh wait, are you
You know what? Yaya, close the door. Close the door, Yaya.
That's good. I like that.
Why is he on the fucking floor? Watching.
He's got front row seat.
We have 11 offices and the stream is 15 seconds late.
Yeah,
we give shit to Hank for that every day. I'm like, dude, there's so much room here. You decided to just be on the floor on the set. I like this. That does show like our conversations are so natural and normal that
he didn't even know. He was
also, we left the door open, which made it more confusing. So hot.
Hey, good thing I didn't walk in here and break out some.
Yeah, you could have said anything. No telling. Okay, back on track. Nolan, are you of the feeling like Nolan is going to kill the Rockies, or he's going to have like because the first game he played against the Rockies, I think he was 0 for 4.
Yeah, so I don't think he's going to like obliterate the Rockies, but as we will get to some of my bets, I think he's going to show up.
All right, let's do it. Let's go to the I don't like calling people that work here guests. Guest host.
Yeah.
Does that work better? What do you got for
Celebrity shot.
Celeb shot.
So, do we want to start with the Nolan one, or do we just go down?
However, yeah, let's start with Nolan.
Okay, so I have Nolan over 1.5 hits tonight. I was looking for home runs, but I don't know if he's going to get one. But I think he is a productive batter. The pitcher for the Rockies is now escaping me tonight.
Feltner,
that's right.
Feltner, I just met her.
So, point to Nolan on that one. And then I'm going to stick.
I got to admit, I hate the 1.5 hits. Like, getting 2 hits in a game feels really hard to me. I don't know why.
Against the Rockies?
Guys, I don't know. Guys are doing it every night, but whenever I see that, I'm like, I would rather just give up the juice to just have a 1 hit.
No, that's fair. But I saw Nolan against the Rockies in Colorado, and I think it's going to be
Nolan also is like
it's going to be a home game for.
It's great that last year he wasn't that good.
Yes,
because it was easier for people to move on, but like people don't realize he's like he should be getting MVP love.
Yeah, he's Nolan again. Yes, he is Nolan again.
Like, and Goldschmidt's actually ahead of him, but Nolan has better numbers.
Make it make sense. Moving on. I like sticking with what I watch, and I've been watching the Yankees and Aaron Judge on his home run crazy season right now.
Oh, he's doing that?
Before last night, he went 4 games without a home run. Before that 4-game stretch, he had a home run in 6 of 8 games. He hit a home run last night. That was 44 for him. I bet he hits 45 tonight. I took the over on half a home run.
Why aren't there more like big guys in baseball? Seems to be working.
They don't like piss tests. That's why. Like Aaron Judge on this streak, I'm like, dude, I know you're huge, but I'm like, wait, are you juicing my guy?
I mean, there has to be meetings in baseball circles, like in the higher ups of the MLB, who are saying like we should definitely like encourage them to take steroids again, right? Like that was the biggest mistake we ever made.
How do we get basketball players to join the Major League Baseball?
I just mean like Aaron Judge, like
6'7".
Yeah, he's like obviously a beast.
Yeah.
But only in baseball terms. Like, I mean, he would be a beast anywhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, why is like we need like the Cortland Suttons of the world to just start being sluggers from a young age.
That's a fair point.
So that's gonna be my new crusade. Is like we need more giants in baseball.
LeBron to the Dodgers.
Yes. Sign me up. Okay, Aaron Judge. How many home runs does he have?
44. So 45 would be tonight.
What was like the old number was 62. Like that was like the Roger Maris or whoever, and then it went to 70 with 70 something with Hank Aaron.
So I think the last time I checked, Aaron is on like pace to get close to 70. Like a lot has to kind of happen.
Right. Needs to get hot.
But but I think maybe that was back during the All-Star break I saw. But like. He's on one. He's on one. If he finishes with 60 this year, I won't be surprised. And then finally, I saw it today. Jerry Jeudy over on reception yards. He would not have Pat Surtain covering him. And when the Pat Surtain was not covering him on the last 2 drives, he had like 5 catches total. So yeah, give me. He may even lead the league in drops, and I'm still saying he's getting over 1,000 receiving yards.
Yeah, and I think the drops won't be as big of an issue for him this year. You're the 3rd person to now give that out on the show, which I love. I've given it out when Dre wasn't here. Dre gave it out when I wasn't here. And then you gave it out.
All right, okay.
So like this shows you just how good Jerry Jeudy could be this year. And 900 yards is like nothing. Especially without Tim Patrick, sadly.
After the Giants game, week 1 last year, I thought he was on his way to over 1,000. But of course he got hurt. But I just see it, man. And
Yep.
Just give me it.
Would like to just see him like a little more mentally focused, but hopefully he gets that going when the season comes.
Today he got a pass because I was on his side. I was just like, you know what? I'd be dropping balls.
Yeah, right. It's so hot. I didn't realize so I don't look at the weather anymore. I just assume super hot every time I leave. But then when I got into my car and I was driving over here, I was like, oh, it's 97 today. Like,
yes.
I deserved to be hot.
The rest of the week too. Yeah, that's
an L. That is an L. What was I about to say about Jerry Jeudy? Damn. Escaped me. What have you liked from him in camp?
I have liked, and I know I mentioned his drops, but I thought he has been a more consistent pass catcher. Today it was kind of rough during the drills, at least for me. But you saw the long ball from Russell. Oh, he beat Pat Surtain. It was perfect. So I like that.
Yep.
And while he did have that route that he gave up on, I think he does realize that all the frustration he had as a receiver doing all these breaking ankles and not getting the ball, I think he realizes, wow, I finally have a quarterback that does that.
Yep.
Like, I think that may start finally hitting. I don't know if he has fully bought in yet, because like you said, I think there's still like lapses in it.
Yep.
But I think he's starting to get it.
Yep. And again, like 900 yards with Russell Wilson should not be difficult.
No.
Really shouldn't. I was going to say once he takes off the Surtain shackles.
Right. That's exactly.
Like it's a real thing.
It's real. And that's something I will definitely keep an eye on during the season is receivers playing Pat Surtain, and I will take unders on all of that.
I mean, I brought this up when the Madden ratings came out. People were like, wow, Jamar Chase is way too low at an 87 or something. And Pat Surtain got an 83. And I was like, okay, well, no matter what you put Jamar Chase at, you have to put Surtain over him because Surtain absolutely clamped him.
Shut him down.
So I think he had one catch for 4 yards when Pat Surtain was in coverage. I mean, this is a guy who had, I believe, 2 games over 200 yards last year. So he's a freak, and Pat Surtain's even more of a freak. And every morning, Evero gets to choose.
That we know that for a fact now. Okay, you still don't know if that's how we.
I'm not confident. There is no confidence behind
I've tried to hear Nathaniel Hackett.
I know the second part is Evero.
Evero, okay.
But I lose track of the first name.
Yeah.
Ejiro. I don't know. He just gets to choose every morning, which receiver doesn't get to play today. And then he's just like, Pat, you're on.
Seriously.
Cortland's not playing. Pat, guess what? You're on Jerry today. Jerry, we'll see you tomorrow.
Dude, I think you have mentioned it before, but I think Pat is literally starting to get the Von Miller treatment. They're just taking him out of practice so the offense can finally try and run some stuff that's not just half the field.
Because you can't say they're giving him rest because he's an older guy or whatever. He's a second-year player.
Exactly.
They didn't put him in on the final drive against Russell Wilson today.
Yeah, and even watching Pat Surtain, unless it's full on following him, he's so close to the receiver. It doesn't even look like he's spending a lot of energy.
No. And one of the things that was so interesting I was talking about with Andre the other day is Pat in college, the knock on him was, doesn't necessarily have the gap closing speed if he gets beat. And he now has that.
Yeah.
On the Jerry Jeudy one that he actually caught, Jerry ran a triple move, which I feel should be you only get to run triple moves in one-on-one. You don't normally have time for 3 moves. But he did get separation after the 3rd move, and Pat closed the entire thing by the end, and it just dropped into a perfect spot. Great job by Russell Wilson, but it is pretty crazy, just how good he is. All right, let's go to my big 3.
Oh yeah.
All right. I maybe shouldn't do this. This goes against diaper changing game with the Rockies coming back home, but I'm doing it anyway. Diaper changing game, of course. You come back home after a long road trip. You see the wife, and she's like, it's your turn to change some diapers.
Oh, okay.
So you the first game back home.
I thought the Rockies had a diaper worth changing.
No,
okay.
You come home, you got to walk the dog and shit. And you're just not in your rhythm now because you got hit with the honeydew list. So normally we say maybe not an offensive explosion, but it is so hot. It is so hot out that Coors Field, you just know you're
gonna rake.
Yes, you just know the ball's flying tonight. I actually kind of wanted to go to the game, but I don't know if I'm going to. You want to go to the game? I'm tempted. Henry is in the corner again.
Let's talk after.
We'll talk after. Then we're going. We're going over 11. I'm seeing 15 runs scored tonight.
Ooh.
Then we're going the Yurfie again. Yes, run first inning. That's when it'll be at its hottest. That's when the ball will be flying the furthest.
Okay.
That's just math.
That's just math and science.
Yeah, exactly. And then finally, Feltner, over 5.5 hits allowed.
Correct.
That seems just criminally low.
Is that by the end of the first, or is that?
That's what I mean. Like, no disrespect to fellow Ryan.
Yes.
Ryan Feltner. But you could give up 3 in the first inning easily.
I would.
There we go. All right, let's give a shout out to DraftKings Sportsbook, where you can get a risk-free bet up to $1,000 right now. That means you could go in and bet $1,000 on Ryan Feltner to give up 5.5 hits tonight, which would maybe make you a degenerate. But then you could just tell the people who are calling you a degenerate, no, this is a risk-free bet. Even if I lose, I get another chance at it. So you get to run it back, and then you could bet your 1,000 tomorrow on some other Rockies pitcher to give up a bunch of hits, and you probably win that one. So go over to DraftKings Sportsbook, get in on that. Right now, if you're not in on this for football season, you are missing out desperately.
Yes.
When you come to the bar to watch NFL games with us, we'll just be constantly talking about lines and bets and all that stuff. So you're going to want to get in on this stuff too. And do it all over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Use the code DNVR when you sign up. Age eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Alrighty. Let's jump into our dilemma of the day, which I think is a fun one.
Ooh.
I like this. It's something we talked about yesterday, and I confused Andre that we weren't talking about it in our dilemma of the day. So we're bringing it back today. And one thing that Dre and I have learned in all of our years betting on the NFL is that the longer the season goes on, the more we know about bad teams and just how bad they are.
That's fair.
And so if you look at all the lines for week 1, let me just make sure I'm not lying here. Yes, every week 1 line is within 10 points. And if you look at week 17 lines from last year, you'll see a bunch of double-digit spreads because we know how good teams are and we know how bad teams are by the end of it. And usually bad teams, I think, are the easiest to make money off early in the season. So today's dilemma is what teams need to be faded early. I'm going to throw some teams at you. You tell me they're going to be better this year or fade them into oblivion.
All right.
First one, this is an interesting one. The Chicago Bears. They take on the 49ers week 1, and they're only 6.5-point dogs.
I mean, the Bears seem like they're on that dangerous ledge of being faded for the season. With the Roquan Smith stuff and Justin Fields still kind of learning. From our CHGO people, it sounds like the offensive line might be kind of dangerous. New head coach. I would absolutely fade the Bears, at least early. They may get it together. They may find something that works, but that sounds like a team ready for a slow start.
Yeah, I was already a Justin Fields guy, and then we started the CHGO thing, so now I'm even more of a Justin Fields guy. And so I see a lot of Justin Fields content on the timeline, and it's not good.
No, that
it's not looking good.
I'm with you. There was I liked Justin Fields in college. It was
my question is are you hearing any reports, and Hank chime in on this as well? Are you hearing any reports of a quarterback looking amazing in camp? Mac Jones looks bad. People are saying Russ is underwhelming.
Just saw one before we started. Someone mentioned that Derek Carr has not thrown a training camp interception yet.
Damn it.
Now, I don't believe that. I don't. How do you know? What do they count as interceptions? If he was picked in one-on-ones, does that count? Right?
If you get picked in one-on-ones, it should count for 5. Paxton Lynch used to be the king of the 7-on-7 pick.
Paxton.
15 for 15.
Okay.
But you, to your point, you're right.
It doesn't feel like any quarterbacks are tearing up training camp this year. I haven't heard anything about Mahomes. Usually you hear Mahomes, just doing crazy stuff. Anyways, I'm pro fade the Bears early too. Again, I'm following people that should be the most positive about Justin Fields, and it feels like they're even reaching to try and come up with good stuff. All right, next team, the New York Jets. This is a team that a lot of people feel is a sneaky good bounce back team. They take on the Ravens in week 1, and they are 6-point dogs in that one. Fade the Jets or believe the hype?
Maybe a different team to play than the Ravens, but I'm fading the Jets there. Like,
what about just in the early season in general? Like, people are hyped about Zach Wilson. They think he's going to make a big jump. People are hyped about Breece Hall. And
I could see them, like, going 500, right? Maybe they are a different team. Maybe they figured out something. But that is a team that it wasn't just an off year. They've just been bad. So I need to actually see it before I even believe you. So, yeah, 1-1 if you want to start that. I just don't think they're beating the Ravens. Do you know who week 2 is?
I don't.
Okay.
I can find it pretty quick.
But yeah, I wouldn't fade them in that first week.
Week 2 they play the Browns.
See, that would be an interesting one to take the Jets.
Okay, I like it, especially with no Deshaun.
Right.
All right. This is interesting. These two teams play each other to start the season, but I think these are both early fade candidates. So you'd have to decide who you want to fade harder. Jags and Commanders.
Oh, God.
What would you guess that line should be? The Commanders are at home.
I'm going to guess, I got, within 3 points?
Okay.
To the Commanders?
You said 3. Hank said 5. It's 4.
Okay. All right.
Commanders getting 4. I am actually more giving 4. I am more pro fade the Commanders than I'm pro fade the Jags. I like the Jags better than the Commanders.
I'm with you on that one. And so if
I hate that stupid
these are
name.
This would be my rule for fading teams early. The ones I would absolutely look to fade early are new coaches and new quarterbacks. It is a new coach in Jacksonville. Right. Well, true. But I would say I think Carson Wentz probably has a more of a welcome to Washington moment than Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence just finally kind of doesn't necessarily click, but I think he's not what he was last year. That just seems so uncharacteristic.
What's crazy is Trevor Lawrence this year will determine, like, was last year a learning experience, or is it impossible for him to succeed in Jacksonville?
That's a fair point.
That's just crazy. Like, he could be, by the end of the season, he could be considered a bust.
Yes.
Or at least a near bust.
And, like, I think they're kind of set up. I think Peterson's a good coach. Yep. I think that they could be set up for a 500 year in Jacksonville.
Yep. All right. Next one, Detroit Lions.
Ooh.
They take on the Eagles week 1 at home, and they're actually 4-point dogs at home to the Eagles.
Side note, is anyone interested in watching Hard Knocks this year because of the Lions?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay, all right.
It starts tonight.
Because Mr. Schefter was tweeting about, like, how... Did you see that tweet this morning? About how their rookie has... Producers have told him that the rookie performance from Hutchinson, I think, he does a Billie Jean thing, and it's supposed to be the best rookie performance in Hard Knocks history.
Wow.
Now, him tweeting that made me think, shit,
ratings are down.
This is going to be bad, right? Like, please watch, please. We forgot we picked the Lions, and no one wants to watch them.
So I think the Lions...
Dan Campbell is fun to root for, right? Like,
Dan Campbell's awesome, and then Jamal Williams is like one of the most underrated personalities in the NFL. So I'm excited to watch him.
Okay.
So fade the Lions early, or are they just going to be like, they were kind of scrappy last year? They're scrappy again.
I'm saying avoid the Lions. I think they could be a pain in the butt. I'm not saying they're going to be like, whoa, look at the Lions, but like, I think they're just not going to be an easy team to beat.
Okay. This one is probably my favorite team to fade, and that's the Texans. Like, this team is just, to me, like, fade them until they start giving you 2 touchdown spreads. They're taking on the Colts in week 1. They're 8-point dogs at home, which tells you that, to me, like, Vegas is already onto them a little bit. I'm actually high on the Colts, maybe higher than the average person. So I think this could, I could totally see this being 35-0.
Colts?
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yep. I mean, they're starting Davis Mills. I know Henry likes him, but I don't.
I don't have a problem with Davis Mills.
Like, most people wouldn't even be able to name like one other skill position player on the team.
Phil Lindsay? No.
Not even. Yeah. Mark Ingram still there?
Fair.
We don't know. Like, yeah. So they're
Brandon Cooks?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Will Fuller isn't there anymore.
Who's that receiver? Rookie.
Oh, they drafted a receiver.
Wow. All right. Yeah. Fade the Texans.
Yeah, there you go.
You've talked me into
My
it.
point has been made. And this might be the last one we get to. The Falcons. I think that's a fade team. They pretty much have told me via their actions that they're tanking.
Okay, that's fair. I was going to say they have no idea what they're doing at quarterback, so that would be a
I think they took the flyer on Ritter, and they're like, well, this can't really hurt us.
Yep.
If it doesn't work out. You bring in Marcus Mariota. When was the last time Marcus Mariota started?
Dude,
3 years ago?
And he has been a name in like NFL circles for like the past couple years.
Yeah.
And I don't understand where, like, I even remember
athletic.
him as like right, but like for Broncos before Russell Wilson, they were like, what about Marcus Mariota? And I'm like,
that's like the most depressing thing, thinking about those days.
We were so close.
we were down horrendous.
Fade the Falcons. I would say that too.
Yeah.
You're right.
And those are the things to look at too. Like, are they tanking? Another one here.
Bryce Young? Am I getting
Yep.
Bama quarterback? Bryce Young? Yeah.
CJ Stroud might actually end up being the higher pick because he's actually like quarterback size.
Maybe. Yeah. JT shirt.
The Giants. They take on the Texans week 1. They are 6-point dogs on the road.
The Texans? I
think the Titans.
Oh, Titans.
Sorry.
Okay. Oh man. No, I'd fade the Giants in that one.
Yep, me too. I'd fade the Giants as long as you can, honestly. Okay, let me just make sure there's no one else. The Seahawks. I talked about this yesterday. I would fade them into oblivion. The Broncos only giving up 4.5 on the road right now seems like a slap in the face.
Okay, so yes, I would fade. I am in the camp where I just don't see how the Broncos lose that first game. It may be closer than people think, but it's just like I cannot see Russell Wilson losing to that team. However, Broncos may be an early season fade candidate as well. Kind of like I have felt like it's going to take a while for the offense to actually start clicking.
Well, good news for them. They start against the Seahawks and the Texans.
That's good point. That's a good point. But I still could see them being 2-2, 3-2 at the end of the first couple.
But I think they're going to play. Like, if there's one thing we know about Russ is that he pretty much plays in a close game every week.
Right. I think that's why practice has been boring because he just doesn't. He's smart. He doesn't do like.
Yeah, and with the Seahawks, the biggest thing for me that I'm looking at is like, look what this defensive secondary is doing to Russell Wilson.
That's fair.
Not that they're dominating or anything, but they make his life difficult day in, day out.
Dude.
And
Seahawks fans, you better hope Geno Smith starts week 1.
See, if I were them, I would be hoping Drew Lock starts week 1 just because it's like, he might make some crazy like lucky throws.
No, because I would expect a Brock Osweiler with the Texans performance, right? Like throwing a fumble type from Drew Lock. Like, I just think Bradley Chubb knows what Drew Lock is going to give him. Like, I just think they know what they would need to do to Drew Lock.
If you're a Seahawks fan, though, don't you convince yourself, like, Drew Lock's got that dog in him?
Of course. Like, dude.
You got to put him up against the Broncos because he's going to, like, show them that they were wrong.
He had one of those videos where I was like, damn, I still like Drew Lock. And it was I think the team had a scrimmage at the stadium, and afterwards the players were throwing T-shirts to fans, and Drew Lock hit his wife like 20 rows up right there. She didn't have to move. It was like right. So I was like, that's so damn cool, Drew Lock. Yeah. But it's still, I just know what your football is like. And but if you are a Seattle Seahawks fan, you're like, this is eternal. Hope springs eternal in training camp. You're hoping.
He would have been fun to root for if he was good.
Yes.
I'll always keep that. I'll maintain
We'll always have that Texans game.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I really thought that was the beginning.
That was it.
I was sick. All right. I think that wraps it up for us today. Okay. This has been fun. Now you have your list of teams to fade. I legitimately would bet against all of those teams every single week until they start making double-digit spreads. But until tomorrow, that is going to wrap it up for us on DNVR Bets Daily. Thank you, RG. Stay tuned for Broncos in just about 10 minutes.
Ow.